Hi, Happy New Year, and welcome to the first Monday Mentor of 2021. Oh my gosh. I don't know how you are, but there was that naive belief that somehow, as the clock from 11:59 to midnight would move and go into 12:01 to 2021, that somehow all that was in 2020 would go away. Well, as you know, it hasn't. I began 2020 with no expectation of this type of year that we've had. I was living in Northwest Montana, and I'm recording our first 2021 Monday Mentor in Southern California. I had no idea a virus would come and ransack what was our lives of normality. So much has changed. We've had so much loss. I want to remind you of Psalm 71:16, where the psalmist says, I will come with the mighty deeds of the Lord and make mention of your righteousness and yours alone. So somewhere along 2020, that verse changed and sounded something like, I will come with the mighty expressions of my political left or political right, and I will demean and diminish anybody who thinks otherwise with my newly found justification for meanness and vitriol now. How did that happen? Or maybe it goes something like this. I will come with my mighty freedom to not wear a mask, because after all, faith is over fear. Or maybe it's the other side. I will come with my concern of making sure other people don't get the virus. So I will wear a mask because my liberality surrenders to love. Oh, I could go on, and I'm tired of some of the dialogue, as you might be. Somewhere along the journey, our focus got so off and continues to get off. And I just want to remind you what grabs our hearts, or what we behold, is what grabs our attention and then informs our intention. So what you're beholding is what you're becoming. And so in 2020, I was brought back to a simple truth. I'm a man of polar opposite. I live in extremes in every facet of my life. But 2020 reminded me of these two extremes that I live in. I'm a man who loves change. And if you followed my ministry and my life, I love change. I love newness. I don't mind challenges. Matter of fact, I kind of like them, look for them. And then the other side is I'm a man of routine. And some of you might be asking, how in the world do you survive yourself, Mike? And that might be a whole nother Monday mentor. So I'm a man of routine and a man who loves change. Now, 2020 had all kinds of change. And there's a part of that I was just in a playground having a ball, trying to figure out how to adjust. And it was exhausting, but exciting. What 2020 did do is disrupt my routine in every way. And my routine is how I ground myself. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and he'll add all of these things to us. So seek ye first the kingdom of God. And for me, my routine is how I ground my spiritual health, my emotional health, my mental health. It secures me so that I don't drift too far. And if I don't ground myself, I start to lose myself, or I ground myself in something that is less than Jesus. Maybe a political view, maybe something that isn't necessarily bad. It's just not God. Good things outside of God can become bad things. Good things underneath the kingdom of God are beautiful things. And so I've been radically reminded that I need to ground myself. So I'm entering 2021 with a newfound appreciation for the simplicity of just grounding myself in the things that matter. So 2020, so much changed. So much loss. Some of you lost loved ones, friends. Things changed in every way. But there are some things, saints, that never change. And what never changes is God. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His love is the same. His forgiveness is the same. And what matters is that I somehow find that relationship with him and ground myself in him. What matters is I remember the relationships of my family, of my community, and I stay focused on that, because relationships matter, whether we have a virus or not. And that I would continue to grow deep in that. Family matters. And that hasn't changed. And what hasn't changed is the fact that God calls us to be fruitful, to multiply, to make more disciples. The irreducible core: love God with all that I am, to love others as I love myself, and to make disciples as I live life. What hasn't changed is the simplicity of being a functioning son or daughter in the kingdom of God. That has never changed. And I want to remind you that those things have not changed and will not change. And if you and I can stay focused and ground ourselves in the things that matter, maybe 2021 can be an incredible year. Even though the virus is spiking and things are difficult and business and struggle and all that remains, the only thing that changed is the year 2020 to 2021. God hasn't changed. And so may this be the year for you and me to ground ourselves into things that matter, to not lose our perspective, so that we might join the psalmist and say, I will come with the mighty deeds of the Lord, his kingdom, his righteousness, and I'll make mention of his righteousness and his alone. I will declare his glory and his life over the broken and over the lost, to somehow find a way to bring that love and that healing reconciliation that only Jesus can bring. Because God knows you and I and our world are in desperate need of it. I wish you God's best in 2021. I pray his delight over you. I pray his peace envelops you. I pray that you find yourself blanketed by the canopy of his grace. I pray that hope is a mist that comes around you and permeates your being. The fragrance of his delight is all around you. I pray that his love fills you and his forgiveness heals you. And I pray that you energize your family, your community, your neighborhood by the power of the living God that resides in you. Pray you have an amazing day, and God bless 2021.